Just waiting for it to pop up. Get those comments. You know how it is.
Just waiting for it to pop up on my screen, Big C, just to let you know.
Yeah, that's fine. It's up on my screen.
Yeah, but it's not on my screen. Apologies for the cough. What have you called it? PSGL sign up?
No. Live driver placement announcement.
Okay. Yeah, it's up.
Yeah, and even people say you're a little bit quiet, so...
Am I quiet? Fucking... Oh, sorry. 1 second, let me just change my settings. Big C, speak.
Yeah, hello?
Oh.
Yeah, well, if people can just keep us updated on how Aaron sounds...
Yeah, 1 second. How do I change the microphone level? There you go.
Is this in the party sense?
Right. There we go. Is that loud enough?
Well, if it's not, we have to do. So.
Yeah, it's fine.
Alright, so good evening everyone and welcome to the live driver placements, the announcement once again. And once again, like in Season 23, I'm joined by the legendary man himself, the 3-time F1 champion, Aaron F1. Aaron, you're back for a bit more PSG action.
Yeah, I'm delighted to be here this evening. I followed the seasons quite closely last time around. Saw some amazing battles out there on track, particularly in the F1 league. Seen ILRT Louis take his second PSGL F1 championship, so that was a great sight to see. But overall, the quality of the league has been fantastic from top to bottom. The transfer onto the PSGL YouTube channel, that's been a sensation. So if anybody hasn't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, and obviously, Aaron, yeah, you sat out last season, retirement for yourself the last couple of seasons. How is retirement? Are you enjoying it? Are there any urges to come back to these great leagues? Your home.
Yeah, there's always urges to come back. I'm a bit like an old toy, Big C. For you, you put me away and then you bring me out for the special occasions. You get bored of me. But I'm back out to play, and it was never called retirement. It was called a sabbatical, and I was sabbaticalized by the powers that be.
Yeah, well, the door is always open for the likes of legends of the site. Why PSGL is where it is today. But as you can see on screen, we have our calendar for Season 24 starting in Baku, Azerbaijan, for F1 and F2 on this coming Monday. Baku for a season opener. What do you make of that?
If you want my complete honest opinion, I think it's an absolutely bizarre circuit to choose for a season opener. When I first saw that, I thought, Jesus Christ, are these guys out of their mind? Whoever made that decision, well, they've got a lot to answer for, because that could be a disastrous way to start the season around a circuit like Baku, 1 minute 50 seconds long. Overall, actually, the quality of the calendar, Big C, I thought we had some abysmal circuits on it, but you've got to put them in somewhere, and you went all out in the opening season, so you get the more crapper circuits for this time around.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. AMS certainly must have had a few to drink before putting his ideas forward, but yeah, the calendar is there, and I don't need to read it out. Obviously, with Mexico as the season finale, as it did host the Race of Champions last night, which Gaming Alimonda commentated for, so big thanks to him, and well done to Will for winning it as well. But I think even that's enough about the calendar, and I believe we're going to have a quick word, with one of the site's ambassadors, one of the great men, the true men of the sites in Flying Throne.
Yeah, Rome. Welcome tonight. you're a massive asset to the league. You know, you put yourself about. You know, you've been to places where no other league admins have gone. Just describe what it means to you emotionally and personally to be representing a league like PSGL.
Jesus, that's a tough one. No, it's great. I'm looking forward to getting another season going, and I've always loved my PSGL. It's just the best community, I think, out of all the leagues I've ever taken part in. So, yeah, it's great. I'm just looking forward to getting another season underway.
Yeah, and I've got to ask you, you know, you yourself, you've made a lot of friends on the PSGL website. You know, people always say PSGL's all about F1. There's loads of different games that people play on this fantastic gaming forum, and you've made loads of friends. You play FIFA with people, you know, you laugh with people, you know, in your old age of 40, you know, it's just it must be
years.
It must be quite refreshing, you know, being part of a community as friendly like this.
Yeah, especially the older members and, you know, guys that have been around for a while. I didn't even realise when I first joined PSGL that it did other games. I just joined for F1, and then, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when I realised, you know, there's a lot of people there looking to do a bit of gaming, and just, as you say, it's just a great community.
Yeah, and obviously, Frome, you know, you've struggled for pace on this game, often in wars with some of the more established pad users. You know, what does the next season have in store for you? Because, you know, last season the pace wasn't there. But to be fair, you show a lot of consistency and ability to keep it on the circuit.
Looking at this calendar, I'm not looking forward to this one too much, to be honest. There's about 2 circuits that I think I'll get decent results at, but yeah, I didn't have great pace all season, but I still managed to sort of drag myself up into top 10 at the standings, and pretty frustrated really, because I was a lot of times I was picking people off who were having accidents rather than actually, you know, getting good results on pace. But yeah, it's still fun. It's like it's a different challenge when you haven't got, you know, out and out speed. It's quite good to try and just pick off those, like Aaron used to do in F1 really, just pick off the last few points.
Big C, I've got to ask Frome this. You know, Flying Frome, Big C, is one of the most promiscuous drivers on the league, because, you know, he could end up in F2, racing in F3 for one night and then F4 the next night. You know, he actually does put himself about quite a fair bit. You know, and he's now a league racing consultant. If anybody wants advice on wheel-to-wheel racing, Flying Frome is your man. But Big C, any comments about that?
Yeah, I don't know, Flying Frome, you know, he's a man who's got needs, and, you know, we've been trying to fulfil those needs, me and AMS, and I think we've done quite a good job of satisfying him, so hopefully he's quite happy with his placements, which you'll find out in full very shortly.
Hopefully.
So, thank you, Frome, for your contribution, and hopefully you can enjoy the rest of the show.
No worries.
So, I think, you know, let's just get on with it and start with FP.
Yeah, do you want to have a little word about what FP is? It's Formula Performance 2019 performance cars. So Mercedes and Ferrari would be the fastest, and Haas and Williams would be one of the slower cars. So that's how it works. So the quicker drivers end up in the more slower cars, and the slower drivers end up in the quicker cars. And it just provides a great balance and tight wheel-to-wheel racing.
Yeah, I do agree. So without further ado, we'll kick off things off with the 2 league admins. Of course, it's AMS and Oogie Azim. So it's AMS and Oogie Azim, along with Ashbest, Cliffy, Juhofin, Flying Frome, Dre Bay, Tom AJ, Warren Haig, and Ponish Town Aaron.
Yeah, good group of drivers, but you know what? We're not done there, because we've got ERT Bliss, we've got Jamie 2905, we've got Sooty DCFC, ILRT Alfie, Viking Stephen, Taze Leroy, Siesta Boema 22, Lordy MK, and Dino, Big C.
Yeah, and Aaron, I think you just missed someone off from the list there. In number 20, we can't forget the man, the myth, the legend himself, JP Greenwood, has secured a full-time seat in FP next season. Aaron, you know, a man who can get the job done in that Mercedes on a few occasions.
Yeah, that's a tasty grid, but with FP you always get reserve drivers, and Big C, the first reserve in FP is Abiadun, the former Racer Champions winner and PSGL F1 winner as well. And you got Miles 22, a fantastic friend of mine, the Welshman. And Big C, it's only right you introduce the next few drivers.
So we've got Ushin, Greeny LFC, Leon, Praga, Callum Anderson, or also known as Honda Par, then Cam, or Pandam Cam. So that rounds out the FP grid. You know, a great grid of drivers. FP always one of the best leagues to watch, and the commentator for next season is none other than Jack Tyler here, and the man used, not the the kid used to commentate with back in F4 many seasons ago.
Well, I think Jack Tyler's matured quite a lot over the years, so I think for him to get the FP commentary gig is actually quite a big gig. Behind F1, I'd actually say FP is one of the most popular leagues to tune in for, you know, on a Tuesday night, but he will have some Champions League fixtures to contend with. But just looking at the quality on that grid, Big C, you've got loads of former F1 drivers such as Warren Haig, Juho Finn, Cliffy, Ash Best. We don't know if he is in F1 or not, but you know, you've got loads of these drivers who've raced in the top tier in that league, so it just highlights that quality and experience in that division. Tasty league.
Speaking of FP, we are joined by Pakistani royalty here, and your good friend Oogie Azim, who's here for an interview, and but I think I'll let you lead that.
Thank you very much. Oogie, you know, you're a very popular driver on the grid. You know, we've got a massive South Asian community who do tune in to these streams. You know, have you got any words that you'd like to share about securing your place on the FP grid?
It's going to be a very entertaining grid once again. I think we've retained, I think, about 90% of the drivers from the last season, so it's a fun league to be in, so that's why I think they're just staying on. And AMS would have had a word to say, but he's been silent for a while. But I'll speak for him that we're all excited about FP, and we're hoping that it will provide the action, much less of the first turn sort of catastrophes, but more of on-track action.
Yeah, and Oogie, you know, any words for, you know, South Asian viewers on stream?
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आप सारों का देखने का, because आप लोग भी एक इस लीग का हिस्सा हैं, और बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आप सारों का to tune in on Tuesdays and sometimes actually show up. So thank you to the Pakistani and the Asian community over here.
Yeah,
thank you.
I couldn't agree more with Oogie. So yeah, thanks Oogie. He's been in PSGL for a long time now, and we obviously are very grateful for his contributions to the site, and we look forward to see what Oogie can do from Bahrain onwards in FP, because he's got a race ban for Baku.
Yeah, Big C, and I'd like to ask him about the race ban for Baku, because if many people don't know about Oogie Azim, you know, you do see Oogie Azim on stream quite often, and you see him involved in quite a fair few incidents. You know, he is one of the most well-respected drivers on the site, but I think latency and connection issues have their part, as does a lack of sleep. But Oogie, you're racing at 4 a.m. in the morning where you live, you know, being awake for 30 hours. You know, how do you compete in such conditions?
It's the I guess you get used to it after a while. You guys do get a 4 to 5 hour advantage on me in terms of being how fresh you are, but we try and make up for it. The league action in PSGL is just that good that you sort of have to sacrifice some things to enjoy the league racing.
Well, you might enjoy it. No, I'm not sure others do. With you around,
they enjoy it a bit too much, I guess.
Yeah, well, less of the whiskey before the races, I think. So. But yeah, thank you, Oogie, and good luck for the season ahead.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Oogie. Good night.
Good night.
So,
Sadia.
so FP done and dusted, and obviously the decision for the coming season is we've decided to remove one of the Sunday leagues due to a lack of commitment and attendance from the drivers in F2 and F3. So we've got from F1 to F6. So here in F6 Thursdays, you know, it's a great league, a well-run league, and a great older member base, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in your 40s, pushing towards 50s, this is the perfect league to be in, full of mature drivers. It's like going into Asda's and getting that mature cheddar, you know, and none other is the admin other than C-Tice Demon, aka Matt Romano. And alongside him is Blue Jean. Big C, Blue Jean?
Yeah, or Blue John, I don't know. I think we need some clarification on that one. But yeah, it's Matt and Blue Jean who actually have done a great job in promoting the site recently and taking us forward, because we're going to be moving to Discord. So there'll be more about that later on. But yeah, thanks to those two. So it's them two as admins, with Swen the Men, Mesclass, Dumlios, Morris Guy, Twanak, S Boomer 22, Pony Clown, Cablo, Foggy, Visegra 47, Wardlow Billy, Sabetti, Audio, El Truco, Duo Finn, Mileham, GG Gaming King, and Poggle as the 20 full-time drivers here.
Yeah, delicious mix of drivers there, but it doesn't stop there. We've got some reserves. We've got Callum Anderson 8, The Bomb 1154, Ab 53 Mo, and Lee Wilson 880. What a grid, Big C.
Yeah, what a grid, and we'll be looking forward to see who can take the title in F6 on Thursday nights. And of course we've got the Mong brand, as they're known. That's what they call themselves here in Sondre and Lewis, or Praga. The Mong brand will be remaining as the commentary team for the Thursday League, so that's great news.
Yeah, and Big C, just on the Thursday League, it's a lower division, it's the lowest division, and it's an opportunity for drivers to grow and learn their racecraft without any pressure. But if you're free on Thursday nights and you want to tune in to a league race, F6 is the one to tune in for. You'll often see loads of carnage, loads of incidents, but some really good racing as well. And I think people like Twanach, Big C, and Wide Load Billy can offer that.
Yeah, I do agree profusely. So F6 is done and dusted. And I do believe we have Greeny NFC in the party.
Yeah, we do. And if anybody doesn't know who Greeny is, he's a man who revels in being noticed on the grid. Former F1 driver, a hot-headed rat, some may say. A man who would go to the opening of a slaughterhouse to get his picture taken. Greeny. Some interesting discussions so far as to the league placements. You know, what is your verdict on what you've heard so far?
Yep, thanks for the intro, Aaron. Much appreciated. I think the FP grid is certainly exciting going into the season. I'm not too sure about any of the S6 drivers, but F6 is usually a great foundation for PSGL and puts up some of the best racing.
Yeah, well, we'll be getting more from Friday's finest as we continue through the rest of the leagues. But now we're going to move on to F5 and Saturday nights. Your Saturday night starts right here.
Dermot O'Leary or Big C O'Leary.
Yeah, so Saturday nights in 8 PM, it'll be Lickle Blocks actually adminning the league once again. So it'll be Lickle as the league admin. So we'll run down the first few drivers. So it's Cam Kai Mum, TTG Maze, Jamie 2905, Machine Fishy, Nano Bacon, Nexus Iceman, TTG Suarez, HMFC, Try and Catch, Roscoe Dodger, and Rowan Aaron.
What the... lovely mix of names there, Big C.
So after Rowan, it's Tiernaut Jaboggan, Tiernaut Tijonis, Nexus Mushalot, Misharin, Mixelis, NZL Cam, Scorpion Hun, Red Phoenix, and Brandon 27 here. And so that's the grid for F5, and our 3 reserves, please.
Oh, that was an amazing mix of drivers. But your Saturday nights don't stop there. We're going to Deadlock now, Big C. as your first reserve for the F5 will be Lazy the Twig, VPC 0 and Okeke 21. And Big C, it's a interesting league. You know, you got names there that, you know, I don't recognise a single name except for maybe Jamie and obviously HMFC, the man who launched it many years ago.
Yeah, and yeah, the grid has mostly stayed the same from last season. I felt that it was really pointless moving them up to the lowest Sunday league, because I feel the level usually in the Saturday league is a little bit higher. So it might be called F5, but I think in effect it is actually F4 in terms of pace and performance. So it'd be an interesting group like Stephen Rogers and a few other, like Suarez and a few other guys as well, Machine Fishy, who can really challenge and prove themselves here. And we've actually got the admin, the longest-standing admin for the league, Lickle Blocks here, and now joining us.
Yeah, Lickle, my good friend, you know, you've been a household name on the PSGL website, and you know, you really do offer up your services like no other man on the site, you know, whether that's commentating, being a league admin or a driver. But to oversee the affairs in F5, a league so precious for drivers to grow, it just must be such a privilege for you.
Yeah, well, it is. I've seen quite a few drivers do, like, start in F5 and then move the way up to the top tiers, such as Jake Tech. So hopefully, with a bit more experience on some of these drivers this season, we'll see a lot more move up the PSGL site and continue to improve when continue racing.
And I'm just wondering, Lickle, you know, in F5 you've got people with very strange usernames. Does that have an impact when you come to deal with some of these drivers with regards to any issues? You know, when you have someone called Nano Bacon, does that, you know, what does that do to you?
I don't know, to be honest. I just click on it, get whatever sorted, and then move on, to be honest. And then,
fair enough.
Yeah. Bit awkward on comms sometimes, but just got to try and get through it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And obviously, Lickle, you know, you've lost Ushin and JRDZZ bot for next season. You know, we don't know what tier they're going to be in, but you know, will you miss them? Because they were top drivers, fair to say.
Yeah, they offered a lot of good action, close racing, but two good drivers gone. We still got good drivers to replace them, so hopefully they can continue to bring the good action on a Saturday night.
Yeah, and obviously just to confirm, I didn't confirm the commentators will be Lickle and Alfie commentating on the Saturday League for like the 4th season in a row. So you know where to go on a Saturday night if you want some PSU action. A bit of Lickle and Alfie, Aaron.
Yeah, and just to let you guys know, on Saturday nights on ITV1, Celebrity X Factor is on. If you want to tune into a bit of Martin Bashir, you know, that is where you've got to go.
Yep, and just a comment on Jamie. Yeah, Machine Fishy is in the league. I can't be asked to say his name backwards. So yeah, Machine Fishy is in F5. So that is the first 3 tiers done. FP, F6 and F5 in Aaron. It's time for F4, the Sunday League.
Yeah, the Sunday League, the long-standing league, one of the most experienced leagues on the PSGL website. It's F4, and your league admin for this season, if anybody's racing F4, it'll be Flying Frome, top league consultant, and you've also got the experienced Mr. Grumpy 1989, and it doesn't stop there. You've got Simo, a very experienced pilot, and you've got Josh 9867, JCarty 23, Ozone Never Miss, VSketch HD, Blue Mosquito, a former F1 champion, Viking Steven 7, PTRL Naz, Warren Haig F1, a former constructors winner in F1, my former teammate Big C. And who's next?
Yeah, so we've got Reptilium, aka Chicken Owns, Lordy MK in F4 once again, XX White Shadows, Mike Messi 17, Lars, Cheetah, ERT Bliss, Blaze Airy, and TB230791 Aaron. So that's the 20 drives for F4. Then we've got quite a few reserves actually. The Sunday League actually proving quite popular for a change. We've got the likes of Miles, Nadir, Mems Virus, and Kagman321.
Yeah, a good mix of drivers there, Big C. You just read out TB. I was worried whether someone had tuberculosis for a moment, but no, a lovely division there. It's going to be quite interesting. You're going to have a mix of experience, youth, and that often will provide for tight championship battles. And Big C, there's one man still in the party who may wish to give his views on the F4 grid, the league admin himself. Flying Frame.
Oh my god, the experience. It's exactly what I wanted out of that grid. It's got all the guys in there that I kind of started league racing with, so I've not been on track with them for years in equal cars, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Although there is a few guys that I've never heard of, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, and obviously, you're going to be racing against your colleague from last season, Lordy MK, who was a bit in the wars in recent races, especially in FP. How do you relish going up against Lordy once again?
We were like magnets in FP last season. We were always seemed to be on the same bit of track, so we had some really good battles. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's a lot of great wheel to wheel guys in there, so it should be fun.
And does it feel like you're coming back home, Frame? You've had a bit of soul searching to do on PSGL. You've moved from league to league, but now you seem like you found a league which you're really comfortable in. Is that what it feels like?
The years of sandbagging has finally paid off. I finally got down to where I wanted to be. But yeah, it's like I said, like guys like Grumps, Simo, Blue Mosquito. These are guys that I started racing with. So yeah, it's good to be back. And the Chicken Boys in there as well, of course. Yeah,
I've got to ask you a very personal question. We didn't want to ask it on stream, but what is your worst experience of the PSGL website?
Well, I think we both know the answer to that. The cesspit, the season in F2 that absolutely broke us, retirement for you, and just demotion after demotion for myself. So yeah, it broke me a little bit, but I feel like I'm slowly bouncing back.
Alright, well, thanks to Frome, and good luck. You got what you wanted, so we should be able to see you right up there in F4 next season, hopefully, with Matt Romano, C-Dice Demon, taking us through the action. So thanks to Matt once again, who'll be commentating on F4 on Sundays. So yeah, Aaron, we're already halfway through. What an occasion it's been so far.
Yeah, it's been a thrilling occasion. Thanks everyone who's joined us so far in the party. We do hope to hear from one or two of you later on. But yeah, you've got some great leagues there. You can see the enthusiasm from the league admins themselves about representing their leagues. People like Ugi Azim, who stayed up until 3 AM just to give it a few words, even a few words in his native tongue. Such is the passion that people put themselves through.
Yeah, passion, desire, blood, sweat and tears is what PSGL is all about. But enough of that, let's get on with what we're here to do. And it's now F3, Aaron.
Yeah, and I think it's only right you take us through the first few names.
Yeah, so F3, probably my favourite grid of drivers actually. I got a nice blend of experience, but also some youth, some real talent, and it's going to be Ushin as the league admin alongside league director AMS. Then we have Tuzmas, or Choose Booze, Tom AJ, Brandon Glover, F3YLHD, Game Freaker, Powdy, and Jack Tyler, Aaron.
Yeah, just on that, Game Freaker will be entering his last PSGL F3 season, last time on the PSGL website, so a big shout out to him. So after Game Freak you have Powdy, Jack Tyler 46, Shoaib Zafar, Little Romanino, TMC Coreboy, and TNR Zia.
Yeah, then we have TBT, Tiversen, or how he said, TBSEN, JRDZZ Bot, Drebe, K Kian, SSR Phoenix, Jaruru, and Rob Forbes rounding out the 20 drivers. And we got TTG D Warren and I'm Paresh as the reserves. So a really great grid. I really like that F3 grid. A lot of young talent, but also some experience. And lots of Tom Ajar and AMS.
Yeah, but if you're going to talk experience, Big C, it's only right you mentioned Game Freaker and Powdy under the same breath. And obviously Shoaib Zafar, Big C, a man you used to race with back on the F1 2011 game, a man who brought a safety car out of Canada which heavily profited you.
Yep. And the less said about that, the better. You know, the corruption is at our all-time high as it is. And in terms of the commentators here, we've got Jamie alongside that Cockney man, the Millwall fan, Harry Warren. So it's Jamie and Harry as the F3 commentators.
Well, that could be quite explosive. I know Harry does like to give it out on stream, and you know, if you're gonna launch yourself into any stream on a Sunday night, F3 might be the one to go for.
Yep. So that is now FP, F6, F5, F4, and F3 done and dusted. Are we going to get any more words, or shall we continue?
I think you've got to continue, Big C. But just on F3, who would be your championship favourite for that league?
It's hard to say. I think Tom AJ's experience and quality, his consistency, as we saw him win the FP title, could be one to watch. But in terms of actual raw talent, in terms of pace, if he stopped bottling, little Romanino, in terms of pace and talent, has the pace. He's got the talent, but he did spin off quite a lot with Shin as well. He was on a great upward curve in terms of performances. So those two will be ones to watch certainly in terms of, you know, having that youthful, that pace, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, Big C, my prayers will be with my good friend Woot Verist, aka Game Freaker.
Yeah, so F3 is unlisted. Again, it will be Jamie and Harry commentating with Ushin as the league admin. So 2 Sunday leagues, and now we're going to turn our attentions to the Monday leagues. Even obviously, the Monday leagues, 2 leagues you've raced in for many seasons, obviously F2 and F1. A lot of good memories, but also some haunting memories towards the end of your career. You know, some really dirty moments, lots of Hellboy and JD.
Oh, they still send shudders down my spine to this day. But I think, Big C, I left the F1 league, you know, with my dignity intact, unlike some people who still continue to this very day. And you know, just don't know when to give it up.
Yeah, that is very true. So, like last time, we'll go with F1, so before F2, so we don't give away who's in either. So in F1, Aaron, I guess you could start off. Who's the first couple in F1?
Yeah, will do. And it is none other than the 7-time PSGL F1 champion, the most experienced driver on the PSGL F1 grid. It's none other than Big C019, the goddess of PSGL website, the Jesus. And join him alongside the other admin will be AshBest112, a former PSGL F1 champion back in season 19.
Yeah, so number 3, we've got the reigning champion, the 2-time PSGL F1 champion of the world, RRT, Louis, is our 3rd driver.
Yeah, next up it's Sparks, a man who had a really good season last time out, challenging for that title.
Yeah, so number 5, arguably the most complete driver. He's changed from pad to wheel, and he's just, well, he's very competitive still, and it is going to be obviously VSR Blizzard is our 5th driver.
Yeah, what a name, but it doesn't stop there. Number 6, it's Jay Chitex. Jay Chitex, a very good debut season in the PSGL F1 League.
Yep, and next we have the Flying Scotsman. It's Lee Finley. So yeah, Lee Finley's back for a 3rd season. Actually, a 4th season for Lee Finley.
Yeah, lovely to see him there. But you've also got VSR Onyx, a safe pair of hands.
Yeah, so VSR Onyx remains in the league, obviously looking for more than his P9 in the championship last season. Next up is ILRT Alfie and ILRT Amir. So the 2 RRT boys show some great pace, especially Amir, the Algerian. Very quick and quality, but a bit shit in the races, Iran. So number 11 for us, please.
Yeah. Oh, the next 2, Big C, good friends of mine. From back in F2. First up is Lambo F1, former PSGL F2 champion, also a former race winner in the F1 League around Brazil. a couple of seasons ago, and just below him you've got the Tamil Tiger, LR Pog, Big C, the Tamil Tiger, the Sri Lankan spin specialist, doing Mahela Jayawardene very proud.
Yep, so next up we have the reigning F2 champion, the recent Race of Champions winner. It is Will Murdoch. So Will makes the move up to F1 from F2. Then moving on to our 14th driver, a driver who's never raced in PSGL before, but he's got a reputation for being fast, for being very aggressive. So welcome to PSGL S2V. It's Nolan53, Aaron.
Yeah, as long as it's not Kevin Nolan, we'll be fine. Number 15, it's Lakito 886. Any words about him, Big C?
Yep, he's more known for his racing in one of our partners, One Hub Racing, obviously part of the LRSA. So Lakito, you know, a very safe pair of hands and a very solid addition. So I look forward to racing Lakito in F1 next season. Then moving on to number 16, one of the LR lots. Again, not raced in PSGL, but he's submitting some very fast evaluation times. So it's LR Calzo 210 for number 16.
Yeah, Big C, I think it's only right you take us through some of these drivers, because you know a lot about them. You know, you're a filthy man. You're stalking. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, so number 17, he raced in F2 and finished third in the championship. There was some debate over this guy, but we needed a new face after Warmer. Didn't want to move up to F1, so number 17 is my race department teammate, LR Nick 118. So that's 17. Now number 18, the man, he's been banned, Aaron, 2 or 3 times from PSGL. You know, maybe he's the new Bakers, but this man, you know, he's got a fierce reputation for being an aggressive defender, but on his day he's got the pace and he's got the ability. So number 18, it's Aaron Collingwood.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But now we're getting to the business end, Big C, and who is next in number 19?
So yeah, number 19, once again, another driver who hasn't raced in PSGL before, but he showed some outstanding quality pace in the evaluation races around Spa, winning his evaluation race. So it is none other than XX Zenki, the double I. So yeah, Zenki is our 19th driver.
Yeah, and Big C, we've got one more space in the F1 League. Last season, it was a shootout between Cliffy and IORT Lickle, who we've got in the party. But number 20, Big C, who does it go to? The last seat on the F1 grid.
Yep, and quickly, the man who's been brought into the league to defeat Louis. He's got pedigree in some of the top leagues in esports. He's going to be a big name in the future. He's from the Netherlands, and it is none other than Casper. So Casper will be joining PSGL for next season here. A man who's, you know, wins races. He's got great pace, great ability. I think he's the man who can stop Louis next season.
Yeah, such a frightening name. You know, that will send shockwaves down to the other drivers. You know, they will be frightened by such a big money signing that PSGL has captured. Incredible stuff. And Big C, do you want to take us through the reserves?
So our first 2 reserves of drivers who actually can race them. So we've got Paris. So yeah, Paris, we won the race, and we've got the lovely, you know, so he's a great guy, and hopefully his wheel stays in one piece. So we've got Paris and LR Francis, with RRT Lickle being the other reserve, and will be in line for us to see when he finally gets a wheel. So there are 3 reserves, and obviously it'll be Owen Wyatt as our commentator, taking over from Leon. So a great grid and a great commentator. And
yeah, I just got to send a shout out to the commentators. You know, Leon did a fantastic job in the PSGL F1 League last season, particularly with Lordy Boy as well, who also did a great job. And now Owen Wyatt takes over. You know, rightfully, you know, will do a good job. But a shout out to the past commentators as well, who put their time and dedication into broadcasting Monday night F1 action.
Yep, and I believe we've actually got our new man, our big winter signing, or autumn. It's Casper. So Aaron, you know, Casper, a great driver to have in the league, a great signing.
Yeah, Casper, great to have you here. Do you just want to describe to our viewers how you feel about making the step up to PSGL F1?
Yeah, first of all, it's a different league. I'm certainly looking forward to it. It's on a Monday night, so for the first time in ages, I have something to look forward to on the Monday. But yeah, I want to have fun. I also want to become the champion, and I'll do my best as always.
Yeah, and just another thing, the PSGL F1 League has been notorious for having its Dutch drivers over the years. Little Remco, who was a former champion, he always used to say one thing before he went out to race. He used to say "Muy Titan." I'm not sure what that means, but he just used to say it. But you know, how does it feel to represent the Netherlands on such a prestige league?
Yeah, it's cool. It's certainly cool.
And obviously we've lost the likes of Odems and Gamer Casper, but yeah, many are tipping you, including myself, to be the man to dethrone Olottie Louis. You know, do you feel you have the pace and also have the desire to beat Louis in season 24?
Yes, I do. My main objective is to become champion, and I think I have the pace. I also think I have the right setups to work with, so it should be a good season.
Lovely. Well, I look forward to working with you and getting your setup. So it's great to have you on the grid, Casper, and I look forward to seeing you what you can do. And thanks for joining.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. But it'll also be good to get the words from Lickle, a man who missed out on an F1 drive this season, was a mainstay in the F1 league, always fighting for his career, misses out this season. But, you know, any words on that grid, and obviously your own personal circumstances?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure the grid gets better and better each season, and it looks like a very strong grid. So hopefully that goes well. Regarding my issues, I hope to get back on the grid. I'm pretty sure I was comfortable to get a full-time seat if I didn't have my issues. So hopefully when I do get my new wheel, whenever that is, hopefully by Christmas, then I can get back on the grid right after the season. If there is space, if there's not enough space, then I'm just wait till next season to hopefully get my seat back.
Yeah.
F1.
Well, thanks, Lickle, and thank you to your dog as well. So that's enough. That's enough from you, I think, Aaron.
But Big C, I think we do need to hear from you. Actually, I don't think you should escape from this unscathed. You know, another season on the PSGL F1 grid after an abysmal season last time out. You know, where do you go from here? You know, could this be your last season on the grid? You know, the fans want answers. There's a lot of supporters as a 7-time champion. Give us answers.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously last season was very difficult for a variety of reasons, but, you know, it's a new season is a new challenge, you know, a new teammate, a new car, and obviously the calendar, to be fair, was built in the prospect of me actually retiring. That's what. So, yeah, the calendar doesn't exactly suit me, but, you know, I'm up for the challenge. I think my mentality certainly changed towards the end of the season. It sort of accepted that I had to challenge just for the points and be quite different in my approach. And obviously in practice, you know, when you're practicing with the likes of Louis and Gamer, and you're like half a second to a second off sometimes, so it is quite disheartening. So just changing my approach and my mentality is important. So hopefully I can have a stronger season, but obviously I think my personal life, my professional life will determine how long I continue, and obviously my general well-being in terms of enjoying the leagues, because obviously there's a lot of stress and hard work goes into running the leagues, but, you know, I have a lot of support, and, you know, I have some great friends and whatever through league racing, so I'd like to continue to thank them, and hopefully I can make them proud at a couple of races, maybe Monaco. But yeah, I look forward to driving for a new team and a brand new teammate who certainly will catch the headlines for the right and wrong reasons. So, you know, I'm as excited as ever anyway.
No, that's what you want to hear. It's not all about winning, it's about the taking part as well. It's about adapting. And, you know, emotionally and physically, you know, how hard was it to adapt to that mindset, realising that you're no longer the quickest?
Yeah, obviously I've not been the quickest for the last few seasons, but certainly in recent seasons, you know, I went to every race knowing if I delivered the goods, I could put it on pole, I could challenge for the podium or a victory. But obviously now, I go into every race sort of dreading it, like, am I going to get a point here and there? But certainly, you know, at the end of the season, it did go quite well. In Japan, the pace improved a little bit, and Abu Dhabi was a nice change to battle, like some Blizzard and Jay, and come through the field quite comfortably to finish 5th in the end. So it's been obviously difficult. I want to be fighting for the front, but it's a new era. The standard is very high, and I'm keen to ensure PSGL is one of the best leagues on the side. I could easily get some shitter drivers in and boost my ego a bit, but I want to beat the best and try and compete against the best. So I'll do my best, and we'll see what happens.
I don't think your ego can be inflated anymore. For those still watching, do not switch off. It's about to get juicy. We are going to hear from Greeny in a moment, but before we do, Big C, take us through the F2 grid.
Yeah, so the cesspit, it's been a bit of a stain on the site in recent seasons, but when your team is in trouble, you get Big Sam, and now we've got Big Bad Boy. It's Greeny LC's the admin alongside the German icon of PSGL, CC Brain. Then we have Praga, and obviously the lovely, the legendary Maxi Luca, Ollie Flavel, Skeven, Wommer, Taze Leroy, VRT Westy, VRT Fran, Black Phoenix, the Pindi Express Ugiazim, Samster, LR Foxy Dude, RRT Leon, VRT Brett, the Gamer Paco, Cherry 2 Pie, Pit Matt, and Silas Agard taking the 20th spot. Then we have 4 reserves here, and just run through them so they can hear someone else's voice.
Yeah, Josh Muxer, Latu Tom, Abby Oden, and Nexus Nibiru.
Yep, so that is the F2 grid in full. 20 full-time drivers and 4 really strong, experienced, lots of Nibru and Abby Oden. So it'd be good to hear Greeny's thoughts, his reflections and his aspirations for F2 moving forward. The man tasked at saving F2, the last hope.
Thanks for that, Big C. Yep, hopefully going to achieve a feat that Flying Froome and Iran could not achieve between them. With regards to the grid, I am extremely happy with it. I'd like to think I had quite a bit of involvement in choosing it. I'm very happy with the bunch of drivers we've been given. It's a mix of experience, youth and pace, and it's exactly what F2 needs, I think.
Yeah. It's going to be awful. It's going to be awful under you, Greeny, if I'm honest. I think a man of your hot-headedness, you're not level-headed enough. It's only going to go one way. Just to put it out there, I brought up 3 of the best drivers from F2 in Lambo, Odems and Francis. What are you going to bring up? Ollie Flavel?
I'd like you to retract that statement, to be honest. There is a lot of talent within the F2 grid. People like Leon, Samster, Worme even, who was offered the F1 seat but humbly rejected it, knowing that he needs to prove himself a bit more in F2. But the main focus this season will be on the clean side of racing. I want everyone to make their best to attend, and let's hope that we can have a great season and start off the season just like we did last year.
Yeah, and obviously, Green, we have got some, let's say, egos. Maybe some drivers who are a bit too close to certain league directors, like of Cherry 2 Pie and Maxi Luca. How are you going to manage those sorts of drivers?
Exactly. Well, Maxi's a little bitch, so he'll do exactly what I say. But no, Maxi's a great guy. He's very clean nowadays on the F1 grid. Regards to Cameron, he has been warned about his conduct in F2. He's been given a conditional seat. However, I do think he's one of the championship protagonists. He's a great driver on his day. When he drives with a level head, he's brilliant.
Aaron, anything more for Greeny?
Yeah, I've got loads of things to say. You've got Ugi Azim. You've got Ugi Azim on that grid. A man who's known as an incident magnet. He's also in this party and may wish to share a few words himself and is welcome to do so. But how are you going to deal with protecting Ugi Azim? Because often drivers will go for him. If they're involved in any incidents, they will blame it on him.
Well, Ugi, he's a good driver when he drives sensibly, but often he doesn't, unfortunately. But he's a good addition. He's so experienced and he's capable of winning, and he brings a lot of charisma to the grid that we need.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But how will you ensure, as an F2 league admin, that you can make sure that all of those drivers on that grid race cleanly and fairly with each other? Because back in F2, when me and Frome were league admins, you was part of the problem.
Well, I'm a changed man.
Can I sort
Aaron,
of cut in now?
if you want, Oogie.
So the thing is, like, in my experience, the best teachers are the ones who turned out to be the ones who'd sort of done all that shit. So they knew what you were up to before you were up to it. So Greeny, in that sense, is one of those guys who know that people are about to make a ruckus before the ruckus is made. So I think it's good to have Greeny as the admin over there. So he's going to be one step ahead of all the shit that people are going to make. So brilliant choice, I think.
Yeah, thanks for that, Oogie. Yeah, it's much like Big C, you know. Big C was once the child within PSGL, the level hot-headed man. I've been there, done that, you know, thought I was the best guy on the grid, thought I was too quick for anyone, but at the end of the day, nobody's too good for anyone on these PSGL grids. And I've asked the stewards if there's any incidents, I want severe penalties handed out. We're going to stamp it out nice and early and make sure that F2 is a nice place to be this season.
Yep, and thank you, Greeny. I hope together we can rule very strongly. And obviously the commentator.
Who's the commentator?
It's Lordy Erin. It's Lordy MK. Will be doing the F2 Mondays at 7 p.m.
Yeah, and we do have a couple of minutes on stream. Any words about the commentator in F2, Greeny or Oogie? He's a lovely bloke.
Yeah, Lordy, one of my former teammates. He's a great guy. Sometimes he lets his emotions get the better of him, but I doubt that'll be an issue as a commentator in F2. He's been there, done that. He's one of the PSGL legends, one of the long-standing veterans, and it's great to have such a charismatic person commentating on a prestigious league.
Yep. So that's F2 done. So in terms of predictions, there's a lot of quarters. I think Warmer certainly the title favourite. But if Cherry 2 Pie gets his head together, because he does come out with a lot of bullshit. So it just depends how his mentality. I think mentality is key for Cherry 2 Pie. And so yeah, great F2 grid, and hopefully finally F2 lasts the distance.
Can I just give a quick shout out to a few drivers such as CC Brain, Pit Matt, Leon, the very consistent drivers on the grid. I think, if F2 does happen to have a bit of a messy season, they could be there to pick up the scraps and fight at the end.
Might as well give a shout out to your mum as well.
Yeah. So, Erin, we've got a little bit of PSGL news to take care of, but other than that, that's the placements done.
Yeah. Well, what is the PSGL news that you've got to take care of? I'm very intrigued.
Obviously, times are changing, and the PSGL forum has been a bit of a derelict place. It doesn't really get much action. A bit like JP Greenwood, a lack of action recently. But that's why we've made changes through Blue Jean and Matt Romano's help and assistance for the coming season. We've set up a Discord server, so Discord, is a great way to communicate and just store information and improve the community feel. It's a bit like a modern day forum. It combines the forum with social media type of thing, really. So for the coming season, all like league business, admin chats, group chats and all that jazz will be on the Discord server, and the link will be shared out in the coming days. So yeah, all drivers have to join the server. It's mandatory, and obviously drivers who fail to do so without an actual reason will be losing their seat. So it's a bit of a revolution. The forum has its place still. It's on the World Wide Web and can find it on Google and that. It's going to be happening. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what Discord does for us, and hopefully we can build PSG up to be a great community, because I feel the community is more separated into each league. So maybe Discord will combine and have wider cross league connections, I guess, which hopefully we can get through that this season. So yeah,
it's a very good decision. You want to bring people in from F3 and F4 and F5 and F1 to all collaborate and communicate with each other, and mingle with each other. It creates for a greater sense of community spirit. And obviously this change of direction may mean that Adam Guppy is just not bringing enough funding in for himself from the forum donations, which he spends on lavish holidays.
Yeah, I do agree profusely. So I think, Erin, I don't know if you've got anything else left to say, but that is the league placements. I will be putting the placements out on the forum, and hopefully Adam will be putting them on Twitter shortly after the climax of the stream. But let's just quickly talk about the process after the stream. The admins will add you all to a PSN chat or a Twitter chat. From then on, cars and teammates will be sorted through Discord, and we'll be giving out the link and all that good stuff in the coming hours, the coming days. So liaise with your league admin. You know, don't message me. Liaise with your admin, because that's what they're there to do, so I don't have to do everything. So, yeah.
Yeah. Delegate, don't dominate. That's what I've always told Big C. He's a very power-hungry man, and you know he loves the attention on the PSGL website. So message him as much as you can. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, don't. Only for a few brown envelopes and PayPal details. But there we have it. Once again, you know, PSGL continues to grow strength to strength. Great support last night on the Race Champions and tonight on the placement streams, and obviously the action gets underway on Monday at 7 PM here around Baku for F2. So Baku will host F2 first, and you know what a better way to start things off.
Yeah, it's going to be explosive. F2 opening the show. You know, you got Greeny, hot-headed man, you know, but now seems to have matured and developed, and I'm sure he will do a great job as an F2 admin. I was only messing about with him earlier, but he will do a fantastic job. But yeah, it's going to be explosive.
Yeah, it is indeed. So yeah, thanks to all our guests joining. Obviously, Ewan as well for being my amazing co-host. Maybe one day this partnership will end. You know, it's PSGL's Richard and Judy, Anton Deck, Phil and Holly. We've got Connor and Ewan. So there we have it. The league placements for season 24 are done and dusted. 13 rounds, 7 before Christmas and 6 afterwards. Let's have a great season and let's just enjoy our racing. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you on the track very soon.